Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty. This video here was quite popular. It made the scenes, it made the rounds, and do you remember it? It was about a white female who is telling a black male that the attention in which white women receives from black men is not that important. It doesn't boost one's self-esteem, and it just doesn't mean that much. I'll let you hear this.
Get attention from black guys. In my experience and all the other white girls that I know, we don't think that getting attention from black guys gives you a status of some sort. If you get attention from the white guys, you do have the status more than if you get attention from black guys.
As a man, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that.
Well, as a woman who gets attention and who grew up in a white culture more than a black culture, I'm going to tell you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
You're white.
Yes.
You just heard what she had to say. And basically everything that she's saying is correct. The brother just cannot really admit that his attention or his presence in front of her or in front of other white women is just not a badge of honor. It's just not a status. It's just not that important. He's just having a hard time accepting that. But I want to give you the flip side of this and show you that it actually goes both ways.
Would you date black girls?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because they're disgusting.
Really?
Yeah.
Why they sleep with everybody in?
Yeah, you guys are pretty gross.
But y'all beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. I know.
God bless y'all with pretty hair.
I know.
Pretty eyes.
I know. Thank you.
Intelligence.
I know.
Look at Bill Gates.
So, as you can see, that the white men do not value the attention or the opinion of black women any more than white women value the attention and opinions and compliments from black men. And this is the reason why I have advised black women to not throw themselves at white men. I have made a few videos regarding this particular matter because what I have noticed is that whether she's famous or not, the outcome is usually disastrous. I am talking about the outcome when black women throw themselves at white men. I'm not necessarily talking about do not interracially date. My position on that has always been, if you are going to do that, allow the white man to come after you. Allow him to chase you. Allow him to seek you out. That has always been my position. Because what I have noticed is that the outcome tends to come out better. However, let's not deny the obvious. And the obvious is that the vast majority of white men do prefer white women. That is the reason why it is not a good idea to, as a black female, to throw yourselves out there at them. Because over 93% of the times you're going to be rejected. And it does not matter if you are famous or not, as Lizzo found out. Because white men typically have a type. And that particular type tends to be white women. Now, this is not to make black women feel bad, because there is nothing wrong with you. It's the way in which they have been conditioned. And I do think that people tend to gravitate and like their own. In many ways, they are liking what their mothers are, the female family members are. So it looks foolish when black women throw themselves at white men. Only thing she's putting herself into is to being used pretty much as to a notch under someone's belt, as an experiment, as a lab rat. That's pretty much it. Pretty much easy pickings. Because even when they agree to what they're going to agree to, you are still going to be their bottom choice. Understand this. White men place black women at the very bottom in terms of dating, in terms of who they find attractive. And it's not that black women are at the very bottom. That's just the opinion of white men. That's the reason why it is foolish for black women to throw themselves at them, to make themselves so readily available. Desirable woman, it shouldn't be so complicated to love a black woman. Well, let me just say this much. For most black men, it isn't. While black men place black women at the bottom, black men place black women at the very top. And black men tend to be more forgiving of her weight issues, of the fact that she may have a couple of children, and the fact that she may be older. Whereas white men are not. Least desirable, how racial discrimination plays out in online dating. This least desirable comes in effect when it is black women and any other race of men except black men. That's where the least desirable come in to effect. This is the reason why I don't understand these online social media platforms that are black male hating and who are all for white men loving, considering the fact that the vast majority of black men place black women dead last on the dating pool, on who they find the most desirable and beautiful. Black women cannot go out there and have the same success that white women have because white men value and they want and they desire a companion in white women. So again, it looks foolishly for you to throw yourselves at their foot and at their mercy to be such a pick-me by white men. If you're going to go that route, allow them to pick you. If you're going to go on a dating site, any of these popular dating sites which people are using now, yeah, put yourself out there. But don't put yourself in front of them by reaching out. Allow them to reach out to you. You're going to have a much better response when you do that. Because a lot of times, when you try to reach out to a white male, he's going to be conscious about not wanting to come off as racist. And sometimes he will pick a black woman just to show that he's not racist, when in fact he may have those ideologies deep within. Or many times he's just going to want to experiment. While you have something deeper in mind, his mind is just on the surface using you as an experiment. And keep one thing in mind. A white man's first choice is a white female. His second choice is an Asian female. That is his second choice when it comes to ethnic women. You're not his first choice, his second choice, nor his third choice, nor his fourth choice. You are the last choice, the very bottom. And there's nothing wrong with black women. That is the mentality of white men. There's nothing that you can do to change that. Hoping, praying that he sees something different in you, not going to change an outcome. It really isn't. And a person shouldn't want to change someone's outcome or outlook. Where you have a mentality of, look at me, I'm different. Why would you want to be different? Do you think that in some ways you're going to be held any type of special regards by him? Why would you want to change the mind of someone who has you dead last? Who has some type of racial ideologies? Or who has some type of stereotypes about you and your group? Why is it so important for you to change his mindset? Why is it so important for you to date someone like that? Not necessarily dating a white man, to date a white man with that type of mindset. It shouldn't be, because in many ways you're degrading yourself. You're showing your lack of self-love and deep-rooted self-esteem issues because you're connecting your importance to what someone else, another group, thinks of you. And that says a lot about you. No, you definitely do not need to go there. So black women, just take heed. Be careful about who you are reaching out to. Be careful about who you are wanting and desiring. Just make sure that it's reciprocated. Make sure that what you are wanting and desiring is wanting and desiring you in the same measure. And make damn sure that it's not for an experimental means, because you're much more valuable than that. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you beyond and through.